your file, I'll repeat this again. You have to put it in this include command in this thesis file itself. So let us say you want to have a chapter by the name of theory. Okay, so you again use the same template for include command as it is earlier. You will mention this. You mention first the folder name. So folder name we have kept it as theory. Then the file name we have kept as theory underscore two. Okay, so it would call this thing. Now you can go to this is file, and then you can write whatever you want. Okay, so you save this file, you go to thesis, and you run it. So the runs continue. So now you have a chapter 2 by the name of theory of laser ablation. And how is this theory of laser ablation coming? Because from this thing, then name the chapter over here as theory of laser ablation. Okay, what was the name of your first chapter? Introduction. And where did you mention it? You mentioned it over here in this file itself. Okay, just remember that the name of the file and the name of the chapter could be different. This is just calling the folder and the file, and whatever the chapter you want to name it, you can name it over here. Okay, so these chapters are coming in the sequence that you have mentioned it. Okay, first the first file came with the name file name, and so the name you started a chapter called introduction. Then you called the second file called theory 2. In theory 2 you went there and you named it as theory of laser ablation. So you can see the theory of laser ablation as chapter 2. Okay, similarly you can use other commands like section and subsection. This you are in section 1, so you can also have a section 2 or subsection or whatever. You can name all these subsections.
When we are calling a file, are we supposed to save that file in the same folder?
Yes, definitely. You have to mention the path of the file. Okay, this is the path. Folder name, file name. Unless this file is in the folder name mentioned as it just before that, it won't make sense, right?
So chapter 1 is saved in the your PC, right?
Yes. All the folders are saved over here. This is the chapter 1 folder. This is the theory folder. Okay.
Okay.
You can name the folder whatever. Okay. But whatever your name of the folder is, it should be the same while calling it. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it?
Yes.
From folder new, go to file name, file, and then it would call itself. Okay. So this is about this the broad template, the IITB thesis template. Now I think we can go to specific commands and specific commands related to different features that you would use, like adding a figure or adding a table, something of that sort. Okay, let us go to this theory file that we have created. So first there was a section 1, and you can name as whatever section you want to name it as. Okay, you named it as. Now you want to let us say you want to include a figure. So it would be the command would be Most of the command would start with this begin, okay? Begin, and these curly brackets, you can mention a figure. We will see it in the drop down menu. Now you'll type in between this begin figure and end figure, you'll type include again, include graphics. Okay. There are many include graphics you'll see, but using this one, it has some features I'll tell you. Okay, this key values implies you can mention specific command over here. You can mention scale for an option. Okay, whatever your size of the image is, this command can scale it. Let us say you want to scale the image to 1.5 times. Now you want and this is the name of the image file. Okay, and let us say it is called laser beam. So and also you can just mention the caption over here. And then you can mention the label over. Label is used for reference. You'll just save it as you have been doing earlier. Now this laser beam, since you are calling it in this theory chapter, if this was a standalone file, it would have worked. Now since you are calling all these files from this folder, you'll have to mention the entire path of the file and not just the file name. What is the path of the file? Path of this would be theory 2. Now that there should be some image named laser beam in that folder. I don't think we have it right now. You can just copy something. Okay. Rename this as. Generally, LaTeX is sensitive to spaces, so we'll name it as laser underscore beam. Whenever you have some space, there could be some trouble, so you'll change this as well. Okay, getting it? You can interrupt me whenever you have some issue, okay? Or if it's getting a little confusing or whatever. So we have saved this, we have just saved this, and now we'll go back to thesis file, the main file that we have, and we'll run it. Run it as in build and view.
I think it was capital B in B.
Oh, it has some other issue. We have mentioned about we changed the name of that file, chapter one, and it must be mentioned somewhere in the entire file. This it is not case sensitive. You see that images come over here, okay? This was the image that we had, and this is the caption is also mentioned. Now you would see that it is on the left and the caption is at the center. You can type other commands like since the image is small, this is an issue. You can also scale this image as I said. You can scale it to 2.5, let's say. The image would get bigger. You can also scale it to 0.5, it will get smaller. You can use a command that I use. Some We have so many hacks for this, but can use this thing, I think. We got to the center, right? You might be having a feeling that why are we using this, and MS Word is a much simpler software to use, but you will get a hang of it and you'll get used to it, and the outcome that is of with LaTeX is way superior to MS Word, I would say. Once you get a hang of it, most of you would stop using MS Word if you get used to this thing. Okay. So we are through with this command. You can also create tables over here. For creating tables, I think typing the command yourself could be a little bit tedious. So I would suggest you to use a website that is called Latex, it's called Stable Generator. Okay, you can go over there, just create a new table, mention whatever. It will be mention all the entries over here. And then also you can, okay. Then if you want all these uh, cell borders and everything, you can click on this generate. And here is the code for it. Okay. To create that above table, there would be code over. You can copy this and paste it in your LaTeX file. Right? You run it and see. Got it?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Okay. Another thing is this label command that we have used. Now, whenever you are writing a text, you must have seen it during your while reading some articles or something that they have referred to some particular figure in something. Like, okay, like you can see that. Now, every time you add a figure or remove a figure, the figure number would change, right? But you don't have to bother about it in LaTeX. You can just use this command, refer, and then you can go to this figure. This is the label of it, right? You can go to refer command, type the label of the figure, and that's it. That is all you have to do. And every time you add a figure top to it, below to it, the number would adjust itself. You can see that it has mentioned figure 2.1. Figure 2.1 implies chapter 2, first figure. Okay. It has named the figure itself. You don't have to bother about your space. Sorry. Next thing I would talk about is, I think we can, this should be the last topic today because it will get little confusing if you have all the entire, if you try to absorb all the things today. So I'll talk about equations. Okay, you can start it by, you can normally type any mathematical expression just using dollar signs in between. Okay? Whatever you write, it y is equal to mx plus c. It would come in the center of the space and it would come as italics and everything, that math mode would come over here. Okay, whatever you are writing, if there are other lines as well, let us say that you want to write something else, then y is equal to e. If you want to have a superscript, you can select this option. It is generally this small command itself, e raised to x plus, let us say, L2 or whatever. If it is subscript, you have to type this. Okay, then finish it off with that, again that dollar sign, and you can write it. Okay, so these are just math mode lines. If you want to generally write an equation, you can again go to that begin command and type begin equation. Okay, these, in this manner, the equations would come out to be numbered. Okay, you can copy the same equation, type it over here. Again, a math in begin equation, you don't have to use dollars. It's fine if you just write the expression itself. Okay, so you have the equation, you have the equation number. Okay, so these three things you can just write yourself whenever, whatever you are writing, maybe your term paper or uh, your term paper or whatever your seminar work that we have been starting. So you can use these things. If you have any issues with that, you